Hello, friends. Hope you're doing well. This is a really zoomed in shot. That's why I normally have it like this. So, today I wanted to ramble about something near and dear to my heart, which is goal setting and my stupid arbitrary goals. If you're new here, I set stupid arbitrary goals every single year. These are my goals for 2026, I think. Um, they're very similar to my goals from 2025. This is my current. As you can see, I'm off by quite a bit, but that always happens. But I've been, oh no, I made this small. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put it over here so that my eye line makes more sense. Let's drag this one over here. Okay, we're doing this live. We're through OBS. So, forgive me. I should have set this up before. This is my 2024 goals. As you can see, obviously nowhere near 100%. 2023 goals, 2022 goals, 2021 goals. I just stopped tracking them at a certain point. I got really depressed, and then I just gave up. 2020 goals, did really good on those, actually. 2019 goals, did pretty good. The goals were easier, though. If you notice, read 24 books, and now it's read 50 books. And, take the dog on 50 adventures. And it's okay, well, now it's 200 adventures. But that also includes, new experiences, doing new things with my fiance. Well, I almost said fiance, wife. We're married now. With my wife. And doing things that make her feel special. So that's, part of it. Let's see where we're at. 2019. Tripling an investment fund wasn't very hard when my investment fund was $1,000. So, again, dog adventures. But create 200 YouTube videos. I only made 30. Whereas so far this year, this is number 126. So, I've made significant progress in the years. Going all the way back to 2014, I don't even know. Look at this. I think they were all oh yeah, okay. So they were individual, do this stuff. When I was doing comedy, getting on stage 36 times, I didn't even keep track of it, or maybe I did. I probably wrote 6 5-minute bits, just never marked it done. But this was 2014. 2013 was even more pretty, interesting. Only cooked 2 new meals. I can do that in a week now. Research becoming an LLC. I have an LLC now. Never actually made a reel. I did redo my photo website. So that's something I did. 2011. Yeah, okay, day, week, month, year. Get out of debt. This has been a super, trying to move out of my parents' house. Getting into video production. 100 videos was my idea of success. And now, in 2026, 500 videos. Deal with it. I'm gonna get it this year. Anyway, so that's kind of the evolution. It didn't start like this. It started like this, where I had a year, a month, a week, and days. And then it turned into this, where I have progress sheets, which I need to clear all these out. Actually, while I'm here, just do that. And as you can see, there's a spark line, which if you want to know how to do that, is just this. The most simple, super simple, and you get these little nifty chart things, so that's cool. Steps and active calories, films. I'm not doing films next year, so I can just go ahead and delete that sheet. I'm setting it up kind of in real time. Photos, hockey training, kettlebell training, books, experiences, do the work, video content, videos made. Yeah, so that's kind of, I gotta build some more stuff out. Also, I don't know why this says 0.01%. I'm thinking it's a rounding error, maybe. Who knows? But I think, so if you look at my 2025 goals to my 2026 goals, they're basically the same. The only thing I'm swapping out is I'm getting rid of the movie goal, and I'm putting in a new goal called Put Things in Order, where I spend 365 hours putting things in order, which is it's written vague, but it's vague on purpose, and it's kind of like I live such a messy life that I want to have less of that, more cleanliness, more organization. And so that could be, organizing digital files. That could mean cleaning physical spaces. And it's like, okay, well, what happens if you do all that? Your house is perfectly clean and everything's great. It's like, okay, well, A, that's never gonna fucking happen. And B, it goes back to some of my earlier goals, which was to pick up trash. 5,000 pieces of litter. So I could go spend time doing that. That's still putting things in order, in my opinion. Fixing things. There's an infinite number of litter and things that need to be fixed in this world. Like, I assure you, there is no shortage of 365 hours of work to be done in that arena. Everything else is basically the same. So, kind of how my goal thing has evolved over the years is I got to this current iteration. I'm at 12 goals now, so it's one goal per month if you think of it that way. Like, each month can have like a primary goal to go after. I keep flirting with that idea of like really trying to do that, and it doesn't ever work out that way. And obviously, like, the goals never really get all the way completed. Like my best rate is like 79%, and that was when my goals were way easier. And now there's 2 more than there was back then, and the goals are significantly harder, as you saw. And so I like the number 12. 12 is a good number, I feel like, and I split them up into 3 categories. So in the red, we have health goals. So those, riding 2,460 miles on bikes, that is the shortest distance you can ride across the continental United States. Playing hockey and lifting heavy things. So that's this one, and the next one are kind of what I call cluster goals, where I realized, like, it's like, okay, I want to lift stuff and I want to play hockey. Like, why am I lifting stuff? It's because I want to be good at hockey. So it's like, let's combine those 2 things. And so they kind of become what I call cluster goals, where I could do more of one or more of the other. And so it's like, okay, I can't always get on the ice, but I can lift weights, And so that's how that one came about. The Apple Watch goals are the same deal. It's like, okay, well, some days I am stuck in an airplane and I can't get my steps in, but like I can still go to the gym when I get where I'm going, and there are other days where I can make things up, down, whatever. It's a secret sauce to just be more active is kind of the idea. Mobility work is, I just don't stretch enough, and I'm getting older, and I can tell, like, when I'm on my mobility game and when I'm not on my mobility game, like, I feel way better, and I'm more just able to do things in this world. Books, I mean, I learned so much from books. The problem is I reread a lot of books, so I might actually take this down a notch from reading 50 books, and my wife suggested, like, oh, maybe you could only reread 10 books or something like that. It's like, okay, maybe, because I tend to reread a lot of books, but I still feel like I get things out of it every time I reread some books, like Austin Kleon's books, Ryan Holiday's books. I feel like every time I reread those, I get something new. Put things in order. So that Experience Adventures, that's just doing something for the dog or the wife that makes them feel special and or is a new experience for us. 250 hours of tabletop gaming, just because I know that I need to rest. In that, what I realized, I started playing, that I started talking about how I group goals, and then I just started listing them. Anyway, I'll finish listing and then I'll get back to it. Do the work, show the work is another cluster goal. It's just about, like, spending time actively working on client stuff and video editing and getting better at the craft. Finance goals, that's just financial health, basically, so saving money and investing money. Photos, same as it ever was. Try to generate photos for my clients. And then 500 pieces of video content. So anyway, going back, blue, so red is fitness-based, blue is kind of experiential and like quality of life stuff. And then green is work stuff specifically. So that's kind of how I group it. Yeah, and it's obviously, if you're setting goals for the first time, or you're doing it this year, you've done it before, I feel like there's a couple things I've learned that are super important to share. Number one, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously you need specific goals, you need a target, and you need to figure out, I got this cheat sheet for a productive day. It's not all the way filled in, but you get, the daily pace of what you're supposed to be doing every day, and it's like, okay, 6 miles on bikes every day on average. That doesn't mean every day, but you could do, what is that? Can't math. It's like 40 miles a week, something like that. So it's like, okay, well, some people ride 40 miles on a weekend. Like, that's not a big deal. And like 20 minutes of mobility work, like that's really not a huge ask, because you could do 40 minutes every other day, and that would still be super great. Or, some days you do 5 minutes, some days you do 35 minutes, for example. So having like a number and a trackable thing, I think is way better than having goals that are like, I will not X or I will not Y, because it's then like once you do that thing, you're kind of like, well, that goal's fucked. Like, might as well give up on it. And I know like a lot of people are like, well, no, but it's like, it's a slippery slope. You give up on quick. Whereas this, I could go a whole month without riding on the bike because I couldn't because of surgery. And it's like, okay, well, let's still get after it next month and just do more miles. Which also is maybe not the most healthy thing, but if you think about the mental game and you become okay with this number not being 100%, you're always just pushing yourself to see where can I get, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that I think is super important, is like, it needs to be a goal that doesn't have like an instant fail situation, like any kind of qualifier that's just like, okay, you can't do it now. I just think that's not fun, and I think they should be stretch goals, and you should go into it going like, man, I'm probably not gonna make 500 pieces of video content. That's more than one video a day on average. Like, that's a lot of fucking videos. Even if I do daily whisper vlogs, that's only 365. I still gotta figure out how to make another like 140 videos, and like that's to date in 2025. I've only made 125, so it's like that's a big ask. And some of these whisper vlogs take a half hour, 45 minutes to do. So it's, and there could be photos. It's like, what if there's another pandemic? It's like, it's real hard to get 50,000 photos if I'm not doing event photography, because that's how I get most of my photos. And broke that. Finance goals, same deal. It's like, you can't always predict when you're gonna have surgery, so you gotta have that ability to just, because I used to get really depressed as I would get to like October, November, and I was only at like 60%. I was like, man, because every year I was like, this is my year, and again, next year, this is gonna be my year. So, I get it, and it took me a while to get there. I've been doing this now for, it looks like this will be the 15th year I've had a spreadsheet, although it looks like I didn't do one in 2012, or if I did, I can't find it. So, and I think I actually had one in 2010 too, but it was just like a long list, like a bucket list of goals. So it's been a process to get here. But yeah, I think it's really a matter of, you sit down and you think about like what's important to you. Like, have 3 priorities. So for me, my 3 priorities is to be good at my job, be good at what I do, to be in good shape, because it feels like it's rapidly deteriorating as I'm about to enter my 40s, and to have like a good quality of life. So bing, 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 and these could really go in any order. It's kind of just arbitrary how they're set up, but it's all arbitrary, so who fucking cares? So, yeah, you pick your 3 priorities, and then you think of some sub-goals that would get you to, that would steer you in that direction. And you kind of just got to ask yourself a couple times a day, like, when you're working on these specific goals, it's like, hey, is what I'm doing right now helping me live the life I want to lead? And I think when you start running things through that lens, it starts to become obvious. And it's like, okay, if you get yourself doing that every so often, it's like, okay, well, I'm playing a video game right now. It's like, okay, well, you're relaxing. But like, what if you're just scrolling the internet and you're like, well, I'm not getting fucking anything out of this. So no, this is not, I'm just putting money into Mark Zuckerberg's bank account by just scrolling and consuming about stuff like that, and then you build out a list. And I'm not a big spreadsheet guy. Like I wasn't. I am now. But like again, it took 15 years to learn how to do all this, and it was mostly just me asking questions of like, oh, what if I used fill colors, and what if I had progress bars, which these progress bars are really advanced, and I needed help to get them in place. I had to ask a lot of people that know a lot about spreadsheets. I have a lot of friends that are like accounting people, and I'm like, hey, if I wanted to do a bar that like fills up, because you could do these charts pretty easy, but I was like, I wanted a bar that fills up, and I wanted one that goes like a benchmark bar, and we got there. It took some doing, but we got there, baby. So yeah, that is that's my stupid arbitrary spreadsheet list. And that's kind of like my thoughts for setting goals. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I left out. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Help you out. Because I love helping people set up their goals and like stay accountable. Because let's be the best version of ourselves, right? Like it costs nothing to try. Why the fuck not? Why not you? Why not 2026? Get after it. Set some goals. Make a spreadsheet. Commit. ASMR bully. I'm going to have to look at this screen to turn this stream off. Okay.